Welcome everybody, Souldin of the Grin brothers here, and it's time for another episode of Tea Time. Now, I'm hoping my voice is okay and clear for you all. I seem to have a bit of an ulcer at the moment, as well as a bit of suffering from hay fever as of late. The pollen count is being pretty high this year, but hopefully none of this is stopping my voice from being clear for you all. Anyway, today's tea is Assam tea. I believe it's quite a common one. I've seen it a lot in stores, but this is actually the first time I'm going to be trying it out. It's a strong tea with a malty flavour, typical of the Assam region in India. I'm not even sure if that's how it's pronounced, but today's Assam tea is being tried with milk. It's quite a milky one here. And I ended up taking a while to begin recording today's tea time. So this Assam tea should be, in theory, okay to drink right now. So, as a bit of an unusual thing, I'm going to try tasting out this tea before I've even introduced the title of today's tea time topic. It certainly has an unusual flavour to it. This could be the malty part to it. It's kind of hard to describe it. I guess malty would be the flavour then, because I've frankly never had anything which would be described as malty. At least no one's described any of the food or drinks I've had before as malty, but yeah, peculiar taste. You know, it's not a bad taste, but it is very strange. I think, you know, when you try a taste which is strange to you, you can't really recognise whether it's good or bad half the time. You just recognise that it's new. And I really got to stop touching all these pens I've got near me. You just recognise it's new and you're not sure what to make of it yet. I have a feeling I might like it, but we'll see as I drink it later on. Anyway, to lead up to today's topic, recently we finally had actual confirmed information about the Nintendo NX. Like, finally, not a rumour, as in Nintendo themselves ended up actually talking about the NX and giving actual information on it. It's a system that's coming out in March 2017, and The Legend of Zelda for Wii U will also be a launch title, from the seams of it, for the NX as it's releasing in March. Unfortunately, the Wii U version has also been delayed until March. And this has got people worried, because Nintendo have predicted that they'll only reach about 800,000 Wii U's sold by their next fiscal year, which I believe it ends of like March 31st. That's, you know, their fiscal year seems to be every March, end of March is a fiscal year. But they're only predicting that they'll sell like 800,000 Wii U's from now until then. And their lineup for the holidays and the rest of the year seems a bit slim. However, I'm here to try to reassure people by pointing out titles that Nintendo do have, in this case focusing on the physical titles rather than the digital indie titles and eShop titles, although I will say there are plenty of those on the horizon, for instance Shantae and the Half Genie Hero, which I'm looking forward to. And but focusing on the physical Wii U titles that are coming out, as well as mentioning possible Wii U titles that could actually come about, because, you know, there are hints to them, or there are, you know, possibilities that I feel like mentioning. So, for today's topic, at the moment, I'm thinking of titling this tea time as Wii U Isn't Done Yet. I think it's catchy, so Wii U Isn't Done Yet. If I've thought of a better title, you know, the drill, I'll have put it up now, but Wii U Isn't Done Yet shall be the title, and I'm going to talk you through some of the Wii U games, physical ones, that are releasing for the rest of this year. Now, my first mention is a game that's actually already come out in Europe, and I believe is set for either a May or a June release in America, but that is The Book of Unwritten Tales 2. Now, I don't know much about it. I do know it's a game that is owned by Nordic Games. I don't think they're the ones who develop it. I think it's just one of the properties that Nordic Games have purchased, because they end up purchasing a lot of the IPs from THQ's Fallout and a few other studios. But it's a adventure game, I believe, you know, point-and-click styled adventure game. And it's coming out on Wii U with a physical release. As I said, it's already out in Europe. It came out in like March, late March. But in around May or June time, I believe it's like May 10th, Wikipedia said, but a lot of other people have been telling me it's June, so you never know whether to trust Wikipedia or not. Yeah, The Book of Unwritten Tales 2 is a game that's coming out for Wii U as a physical release. Big Wii U release title that I'm really looking forward to. In fact, it's my most anticipated game of this entire year. Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE is another physical releasing Wii U title that should be able to keep you busy for a long time. It's a turn-based RPG and looks to be a long one with plenty of content. And so, if you're wanting a game that will, last you through a lot of the holiday period or even the summer or sort of autumn period of time, this should be one of those games which should be able to do that for you. It's a game I'm particularly looking forward to. The only problem is that I've already got a pretty hefty backlog of games, so I don't need to worry about what games I'm going to play but come holiday time on my Wii U. It's going to be the games I already own for Wii U, because I've got so many of them at the moment. My backlog is massive, and it's not just for Wii U as well. But yeah, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE. Next Wii title I'll mention is Terraria. From the sort of like Minecraft Terraria sort of type of games I've seen, I think from what I've seen I prefer the look of Starbound, but Terraria also looks pretty cool. It's apparently getting sort of split screen feature in Wii U and a touchpad sort of feature for the inventory, which are really cool features to have. And personally, there looks to be a lot of sort of combat involved in it, compared to say Minecraft, and more of a sense of purpose. Minecraft is that sort of like do what you want sort of game, whereas Terraria seems to come across as a sort of, it's like a 2D Minecraft in a sense, but you've got more sort of like a aim for it all, really. But Terraria is a game that's getting a physical release on Wii U soon. I believe around the same time it's also getting a physical release on 3DS. Apparently it's already available digitally on 3DS, but yeah, Terraria is another of the games coming out on Wii U. I believe that's also June time. A lot of these are actually coming out around June. There's Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympics. I think it was that. Yeah, that's what it's called. I keep thinking it's called Olympic Games, not just Olympics. But hey, maybe they decided to shorten the title. In any case, if you like party games, this, as far as I'm aware, is a pretty good party game. It looks lovely. Like, I love the graphics of the games, and those who are a fan of Mario and Sonic, hey, this is a game that will appeal to you. As far as I'm aware, it is a sort of good party game. I've usually heard decent praise of it. And if you're looking for that sort of thing, that's available. Again, I think it's coming out around June, although I've also heard it might be coming out around August, but it's a physical releasing Wii U title. Another game is Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. I'm not much of a Star Wars fan, so this doesn't really appeal to me that much, though the Lego Star Wars games are great. They are very entertaining and a fun co-op experience, so this should provide that, and if you're a Star Wars fan, hey, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. My number 9 has actually got a release date, as in apparently this is confirmed. So long as it isn't delayed, it should be coming out as a physical release on Wii U around June. So my number 9 is available for any of you sort of fans of, Mega Man styled games. I don't care much for classic Mega Man or even Mega Man X style games. With the only Mega Man I've been particularly enjoying would be Mega Man Battle Network. I also kind of enjoyed Mega Man XZ, was it? Although I only really enjoyed Advent, so yeah, I'm not a huge Mega Man fan really. But my number 9 is available for those who are a fan of it or are just generally interested in the game. As an indie game, it should in theory also be a cheaper purchase, so hey, you can save some money. Yooka-Laylee is apparently set for an October release, and I believe as Team 17 are publishing the game, it will also be receiving a physical release. I imagine there are still quite a few sort of fans of the rare platforming games of old, still with sort of Nintendo systems, so Yooka-Laylee is a perfect fit on the Wii U system, and it's going to be available on it. Other games for the remainder of this year include Paper Mario Color Splash. We haven't got a confirmed release date, but so far it seems like Paper Mario Color Splash is going to be Nintendo's holiday title for this year, given the delay to The Legend of Zelda Wii U. You never know what other titles they might end up announcing, but Paper Mario Color Splash might be it. Admittedly, early sort of previews of it, well, the single trailer we've got so far, don't give people a lot of hope, particularly if you weren't a fan of Sticker Star, But seeing some of the card mechanic, I do have hope that while it might not be in the same vein as the original two Paper Mario games, the game might actually be fun to play via its card game mechanic. I tend to do enjoy card-based games. Oddly, they decided to implement that with Paper Mario instead of asking Namco to make another Betting Chaos game, but oh well. Although I believe the people who made Betting Chaos were Monolith Soft? Yeah, they might have been a bit too busy with Xenoblade Chronicles X. Boy, that game took a long time to be made, didn't it? But yeah, Paper Mario Color Splash. For all we know, it could turn out to be a really amazing game. You know, we've only seen one trailer so far, so we can't judge it just yet. And, even if it doesn't end up matching up with the other Paper Mario games, it might be a great game in its own right, at the very least. Minecraft is supposedly getting a physical release for some time this year. It got a digital release last year on Wii U, but it's likely to get a physical release, and Minecraft is a big IP and such, and having a physical presence in store would be handy for Nintendo and all that, and for the Wii U sales. And the last game I'll mention in a 2016 basis, although I'm unsure about this, is apparently we're getting a new Momotaro Densetsu game. Konami announced a new game, which was surprising, and that it was going to be a new entry in one of Hudson's IPs. The Momotaro Densetsu series, as far as I'm aware, hasn't usually left Japan. As far as I'm aware, it's a spin-off of one of their RPG sort of fantasy series that turned into a board game train sim game. It's weird. But that is a game that's apparently being released on a whole slew of platforms. No idea if it's getting a physical release, but as it's such an unusual entity, I figured it was worth mentioning. Now, let me take a sip of my tea. Yeah, I'd say the Asami is pretty good. Pretty nice tea. The other thing I will, of course, mention is we've got two games, set for a 2017 release that are coming out physically for the Wii U. Of course, there's The Legend of Zelda, which, for anyone who doesn't want to purchase an NX or hasn't decided to sort of save up money for it because we still don't know what it is, those of people who already have a Wii U and don't want to purchase an NX so soon can always get the Wii U version. Hey, for all we know, it could be better. Like, a lot of people consider the GameCube version of Twilight Princess to be better than the Wii version, so the same could apply with this upcoming Legend of Zelda game. So that's a possibility to consider. So it's a good thing that it's actually still releasing on the Wii U. The other game, and one that I'm interested in getting, is Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's set for a March 2017 release date, and from what has been said recently, which I've learned through Nintendo Life article recently, is the base game is going to be sort of released, and then the additional content made through, stretch goals, such as various online features or like extra characters, are going to be added as DLC layer. So all in all, it's really likely to actually come out on time. So confident of Bloodstained Ritual of the Night achieving its March 2017 release date. So that's another Wii U game to enjoy. Yeah, that Sam tea is actually really good. Really like that. Now, you'd think that'd be where I'd be done with the Wii U Isn't Done Yet video, but I'm not done with the Wii U Isn't Done Yet video. Because as I mentioned, I believe somewhere at the start, well, not at the start, I was too busy talking about my tea at that point. As I mentioned though, I was also going to talk about possible games that could be releasing on Wii U. These are the ones that haven't been confirmed. And whether they'd actually be made or released is, it's just a possibility. They might not actually be announced. They might actually come out on Wii U. They might be delayed and saved for NX or released on 3DS, for all I know. These are just titles that I feel are a strong possibility that they could be announced and released for the Wii U. And I figured I should go over the sort of possibilities, as it were, for further Wii U games that we could receive. First off, Project Giant Robot. Now this was one of the Miyamoto's 3 project games, Project Giant Robot, Project Guard, and I guess you could call it Project Star Fox, that was being worked on to show off the Wii U gamepad, We've had Star Fox Project Star Fox release as Star Fox Zero. We've had Project Guard release as Star Fox Guard. That just leaves Project Giant Robot. Last I heard, it was still being worked on. And in fact, more so than Project Guard, it was the one that was popping up and being mentioned more often as an earlier release. So this could likely be released as a standalone title on its own, possibly just as Giant Robot or as part of the Star Fox universe, much like how Project Guard ended up as Star Fox Guard. And as it's a sort of way of showcasing the Wii U, it'd be a good thing to sort of keep releasing on the Wii U, because again, it was meant to sort of show off how to use the gamepad in unique ways. Whether it would actually get a physical release is debatable. I mean, at least Star Fox Guard only got a physical release because it was part of a first print edition with Star Fox Zero, but it is a possibility, and even then it should be a notable eShop release, notably because it'd be Nintendo actually releasing an eShop title, and because it'd be sort of finishing off Miyamoto's free projects of titles. Hey, a cool thing would be that they could do would be to give it a discount if you already got the Star Fox Zero and Star Fox Guard, but that's just a suggestion. But that is a strong possibility. Much like how I believe Project Giant Robot is a possibility due to Project Guard coming out as Star Fox Guard, I also believe that due to Pokken Tournament being made for Wii U, I also believe that Luigi Mansion Arcade has a chance of being ported over to the Wii U, much in the same way. Luigi Mansion Arcade is a game made by Capcom using a Nintendo IP and then published by Sega in the arcade. That's really weird when you get down to it, but what it basically is, it's Luigi Mansion styled rail shooter with the sort of unique twist of course, you're using the Luigi's Mansion style of gameplay, hitting the ghost with a flashlight, then sucking him in, rather than of course just blasting the heck out of him. And I think there's a strong possibility of it releasing on the Wii U, either as just an eShop title or being expanded, much like our Pokken Tournament had a whole story mode and some extra elements added into it. And I think Luigi's Mansion Arcade could work well as a sort of say holiday time release around October and such. I'm quite enjoy rail shooters, particularly in the arcade scene, and as a fan of the Wii, I particularly enjoyed the motion controlled light gun styled games, so I think that sort of thing could be very appealing. Furthermore, it is a co-op game, so you could effectively just add in extra levels, maybe some extra difficulty settings. I think a cool mode would be something like a Waluigi mode, which is basically a mirror mode and you get to play as Waluigi. There's lots of ideas you could just build off of the Luigi Mansion Arcade and make it into its own full game. So I think that's a strong possibility as a Wii U release, given the precedent that Pokken Tournament has set. Now the next one I'm going to mention is Pikmin 4. Now, some people will say that this is more than likely going to be an NX title. I disagree. Pikmin 4 was mentioned by Miyamoto in, I believe, a Eurogamer article as being close to being complete. In September 2015, that's a long time to save up Pikmin 4. Furthermore, I feel one reason that Pikmin 4 is likely to be on the Wii U is because Pikmin 3 was on the Wii U itself. And I feel that gives them a sort of, a ground layer to work off of. It makes it a sort of easier game and quicker game to make, given that Pikmin 3 and its engine and its sort of graphics and all that is already been made for the Wii U. So making a sequel to that should be, an easier case to do. And so that's why I think that Pikmin 4 is more likely to be released on Wii U. It would actually be quite a nice touch to have, Pikmin 3 was one of the Wii U's earliest titles, and then Pikmin 4, its sequel, being one of the Wii U's last titles. It's a nice way to send the system off, really. So I think that's actually a real strong possibility, and of those first three games I mentioned, I definitely feel they're the most likely ones to actually come out for the Wii U. They're the ones I believe are the strongest possibilities. Other possibilities include various third-party titles. Now, the Wii U didn't exactly get many, but I believe there are certain third-party titles which, could happen. Activision usually releases a Skylanders game each year, and Ubisoft usually release a Just Dance game every year. Well, what's to stop them from releasing another one on Wii U this year? I mean, they haven't got a new Nintendo system to work on, so new Skylanders game and a new Just Dance game, very possible to come out on Wii U. Skylanders in particular, given the unique figurines they had last year, Nintendo might try to partner up with them again to have more unique figurines. As far as I'm aware, Disney Infinity and LEGO Dimensions have no plans for another entry for this year, so fair enough. And another possibility in regards to third parties is a new Sonic game. Sonic games have usually done pretty well on the Nintendo systems. Admittedly, Sonic Boom and Sonic Lost World weren't exactly great sellers, but I'd say that's more a problem with the games themselves than, them selling well sort of thing. In any case, I think, given that it's likely a new Sonic game is being announced here, or if not a new Sonic game, a sort of HD remaster or collection to celebrate Sonic's, I think it's 25th anniversary? I think it's that. I do think, the Wii U is likely to be supported in this regard. So, if a new Sonic game is announced again, or, remaster or collection or whatever, I do think the Wii U is likely to receive it. So, that's another possibility. Now, these next two are somewhat unlikely, but I do think that they're possible. As in, there are things to suggest that they could have a title release for them. One of these is Animal Crossing U. Now, in theory, it'd make more sense to save it for an NX release, but from what I've heard about the Animal Crossing mobile game that's coming out, it's mentioned that it will be able to interact with an Animal Crossing game. But as far as I'm aware, the 3DS Animal Crossing games, both the New Leaf and Happy Home Designer, don't have any sort of means to interact with a mobile game. And unless they sort of patch that in, it seems to suggest that there'd be a new Animal Crossing game which would have that, ready to go, with that ability to work with this upcoming mobile Animal Crossing game. And as this mobile Animal Crossing game is releasing this year, it actually makes perfect sense to release an Animal Crossing game on the Wii U for this year to go alongside the mobile game, and have the mobile game be able to interact to, give you additional things in the Wii U version. Furthermore, it should be an easier task to actually create a new Animal Crossing game on the Wii U, given that they've already got all the HD models. They had the HD models of the characters thanks to an Animal Crossing Miiverse sort of community thing they did for some reason. I never understood why they did that, but they had that sort of thing. And Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival did actually create a lot of the sort of set pieces of the locations and such. So those are, there's plenty of assets already done for a Wii U Animal Crossing, done in the Wii U sort of style and everything. And it would work really well to tie in with the mobile game that's coming out this year. So I think Animal Crossing U, there's a decent chance of it actually happening. My other game I'll mention as a possibility is there's word that Monster Games are making a new racing game. Apparently it's being built in Unity or such, but this is relating to information formed from a LinkedIn profile of someone who works at Monster Games. But in any case, given that Monster Games has worked quite often with Nintendo, they ported Donkey Kong Country Returns onto the 3DS. I believe they also did Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. And they made the two Excite racing games. I think they might have even made the 3 Excite racing games that were available on the Wii. Excite Truck, Excite Bots, and I think they made a Excite Bike World Rally WiiWare title. In any case, a new game from them, even a new racing game, is a big possibility. What racing game that would be is unknown. And again, nothing suggests that it would actually be for Wii U. It could be later on for an NX title, but if it's to fill the void of, Wii U holiday titles, it could very well be a late Wii U holiday title. The sort of natural go-to sort of idea with it is that they'd be working on a new Excite title. That would make the most sense. But I remember quite a while back, there were a lot of rumours, I think around the time of 2014, of Monster Games actually working on a Diddy Kong Racing sequel, which again, it was just a rumour, but there's this LinkedIn information suggests that they are at the very least working on a racing game, and it would be a pretty cool thing to sort of have one of the last Wii U titles be a sequel to Diddy Kong Racing. And of course, Nintendo actually have a lot of racing IPs or IPs that utilise racing, Wave Race, 1080, and of course F-Zero. And of course the previously mentioned Excite games. So, there's a lot of possibilities. Whether it would actually be a Wii U title or an X title, don't know at this point, but it's a possibility, so I'm throwing it out there. There are, further possible games that could be mentioned, but at this point I feel like these are the ones that I could try to back up with some evidence, so this is why I'm suggesting them here. The Wii U is probably going to have a very light 2016 overall. I will admit that. Its main sort of celebration is going. Its main sort of focus for its games, I'd say, would be to look at the indie and eShop games, because there are some pretty decent ones set to come out this year, and to look through the pretty amazing backlog the Wii U have. If the Wii U's lineup doesn't appeal to you, then there's always the Wii lineup, which has, I think, like at least over 1,200 games sort of in the Wii lineup. Basically, the Wii U can access an awful lot of games, but in any case, as dour as 2016 looks, I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I think there's some pretty decent looking games still set to come out this year, and I think there's the possibility for further awesome games to be announced. I'm willing to keep on hoping that we will receive more Wii U game announcements for the end of the year, and that we have a very nice transition to the Nintendo NX, whatever that actually is, because again, we don't know. Oh gosh, I think I swallowed a fly or something. That's so weird. Yeah, because again, we don't know what the NX actually is. Hopefully it's good though, but I'm going to keep on enjoying my Wii U. I'm going to enjoy the games that are coming out, the games I've got, and through that trying to go through all of its very large backlog at the moment, because I've had so many of those games just build up on me. And yeah, and I'm going to keep hoping that there'll be more great experiences to have with Wii U. The Wii U, as I said, the Wii U isn't done yet.